Welcome to Brawl Till We Fall. Let's talk about it edition. All right, we're going to kick things off in this first part series. This is a two-part series. I'm going to be joined a little bit later by my brothers, Sal Showtime and Meek. They're going to come in and join me as we talk about the predictions for Backlash, WWE's pay-per-view that's coming up this Saturday afternoon. Yeah, it's coming on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because they're on overseas. But we're going to talk about it, get it done. As I mentioned in my previous show, on this show, we're going to cover the results of the Raw and SmackDown draft that WWE did last week Friday, and this week Monday. So we're going to get into that right now. We're going to start with SmackDown's results of the draft. If you saw the last show that we did here, we talked about who we thought will be drafted. Me and my brothers got together for the very first Let's Talk About It show. We talked about who we thought were going to go where. And a lot of our predictions didn't even happen because from what I saw, they did not really draft anyone. Most of the people just stayed where they are. So at the end of the day, it was a draft, but a couple of surprises here and there. But it wasn't what we was expecting. We was thinking some real out of the way drafts, like somebody going from this to that. They didn't even move any of the champions. I'm gonna just tell you what the new rules were. They had a whole bunch of new rules. So the new rules were no champs are eligible and they remain on their brands. So all the brands that had champions were not moved. Um, then Paul Heyman said that Roman Reigns had made himself ineligible to be drafted. Now, I don't know if that means that he is now a free agent and he can go to any show. I don't know. But that was what happened with that. But he also left the bloodline hanging on that because Roman was safe, but he and the bloodline weren't so far. But anyway, I'm going to get into all of that. There's 4 sets of picks for tonight, and each brand with 4 picks. So that was for SmackDown. All right, so we're just going to get the picks out the way and a couple of things that happened on SmackDown. We're going to cover that too, since I did not cover SmackDown on my last show. So the 4 sets of picks came out. Of course, Triple H started it off, him and Cody Rhodes. And Monday Raw got the SmackDown got the first pick. So the first pick of the night was Bianca Belair. She was the first pick on SmackDown. She is the first women's champion. Well, she ain't got the belt yet, but she's the first woman to be picked first in a actual draft. So that's a great shout out to Bianca Belair to being the first black woman, I should say, to be picked. The second pick was Jey Uso of Monday Night Raw. And then Carmelo Hayes, which was the surprise from NXT. However, I did remember him signing some type of contract to be drafted to SmackDown anyway. He was supposed to come up. So I'm going to talk about him in a second. And Seth Rollins was the last pick for Raw in that segment. So Carmelo Hayes came out, and while Cody is standing there with Triple H, after he just did the contract signing with AJ Styles, by the way, for their championship match and their contract signing for the championship as they're going to face each other this Saturday at Backlash. Carmelo Hayes challenges the champ. You just got there. How you going to challenge somebody and you ain't even got your feet wet? You ain't had no match with nobody. But you're going to jump right to the front of the line and challenge Cody. Now, Cody don't back down from no challenges. So he took it and he waxed that behind, and so he sent him packing. So he's there, but now you got to get to the back of the line because you had your moment in the spotlight to show people what you can do, which we already knew. We know you from NXT. I know I do. I know you what you're capable of, but you're not capable of beating Cody Rhodes, not just yet. Anyway, so he got his moment in the spotlight. He challenged Cody and he lost. All right, moving on. Something that happened that I had made a prediction of before WrestleMania, because there was an attack on Dragon Lee, and I said it was Carlito. Now, a lot of people didn't believe me. People, some strangers and some other people didn't believe that it was Carlito. But yeah, it was Carlito. And they had the footage because Santos Escobar said, look, if I did it, I'm going to claim that I did. I'm a man of my word. I'm going to tell you I did it. But to no avail, they showed the footage, the security footage, showed Carlito attacking Dragon Lee. And I knew it was him because he loves attention. That's his thing. He's an attention hoarder. So he wanted to get in WrestleMania and he wanted to be amongst the crowd. And he was pissed off that Rey Mysterio chose Dragon Lee. So he took him out thinking that was it. But no, Rey had someone else in mind, taking his place, and he still didn't get the spotlight that you wanted, Carlito. But anyway, moving on. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about Carlito in a minute because some things happened on the Raw draft that affects Carlito and LWO. All right, moving on. Okay, round 2. Randy Orton drafted to SmackDown, which it was a prediction of ours. We didn't think he was going anywhere. We really didn't. Braun Breaker goes to Raw. Now that I did not see coming. Now I did speak about, I didn't like how they were doing him on SmackDown, but they moved him to Raw. And I'm going to say this, man, Raw, they got some heavy hitters. And you're going to see in a minute. I'm going to break down the heavy hitters. They got a lot of heavy hitters. Braun Breaker was just the first of the many heavy hitters that Raw chose. So keep on moving. Nia Jax moves to SmackDown. I didn't see that one coming, but that's a great idea for what I did mention when I mentioned that I would like to see Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill. So here we go. Let's see it happen. I want to see that pop off. All right, Liv Morgan stays on Raw. Figured that. She still got some unfinished business with mommy over there. So I didn't see that. I didn't see her moving. All right, let's get on into round 3. LA Knight stays on SmackDown, which is great. He belongs on SmackDown. I don't see him on Raw just yet. He's good, but he's not there yet. Ricochet stays on Raw, but he also is on Speed, and just to mention, he is the new Speed champion. So that's something good for Ricochet. Ricochet at least got a belt. The Bloodline, which a little bit of a backstage shenanigans where KO got his licks back against the Bloodline. But in the midst of that, before that even took place, Solo was very, I should say, he was taunting Paul Heyman about making sure that they stay on SmackDown. So he must have did some very fast negotiating to make sure that happened. So he made it happen, and Bloodline is on SmackDown. However, they didn't mention Jimmy Uso. Don't know where he may end up. They mentioned Tama Tonga, Solo, and Paul Heyman as the Bloodline, but no Jimmy Uso. So we're going to see where that goes. Lastly, on the 3rd round, Sheamus stays on Raw. We did talk about that. We knew Sheamus wasn't going anywhere because he just came back. So that's the end of round 3. Round 4, the final round for SmackDown. AJ Styles stays on SmackDown. Now, I kind of wanted him to move because I'm tired of him facing off against LA Knight. But it seems that he's moved on. That's why he's facing Cody. And let's see what happens there. I don't want to make my predictions just yet because we're going to be getting into that with my brothers in a minute when they come on the show. But then there's the Alpha Academy. They remain on Raw. That is getting very exciting in a sense because we don't know where that's going to lead right now. Right now, there's some things brewing over there, but we'll get to that soon later. Andrade is on SmackDown. Now, here's what I thought. I thought once they moved him to SmackDown, he would join LWO and there'd be some type of faction that is, to replace Carlito. But we'll find out on Raw's when we do the Raw draft that that is not the case. So Andrade comes to SmackDown, and then there's Kiana James comes to Raw. Now, Kiana James, great talent in NXT. I didn't see it coming this fast for her, though. In fact, none of us did. None of my brothers and myself did. We didn't really see anybody other than the obvious people going to either big brand like SmackDown or Raw. But Kiana James is a good pick for Raw. So she should shake things up over there. All right, that's it for SmackDown's draft. Let's go right into Raw. We're going to do the Raw draft results right now. Not going to take any breaks because I want to get this moving. A lot of things happen on Raw. You had Patrick Mahomes, and he came out with Logan Paul. That's what kicked off Raw. Very interesting. So we'll talk more about what happened on the show with that. But let's get into the first round picks. Gunther and Imperium stayed on Raw. On the previous show, some things happened where you had, I'm going to say, the Imperium has imploded. That's what I'm going to say. So, I mean, I did speak about it a little bit. But, yeah, on a previous show, I spoke about it. So they imploded. So, but we're going to see what happens with Imperium. Jade Cargill stays on SmackDown. Figured that was going to happen because you got Jade and you got Bianca going for the championships. And I believe, no what? Never mind. I'm not going to make my predictions just yet. So, yeah, I'm not going to make my predictions just yet about Jade. Damage Control goes to Raw, which kind of basically gives it away. I don't think they're going to be coming to Raw with their belts. Now, I could be wrong. Simple fact, there is more Damage Control than Jade Cargill and EST. So you don't know what might go down with that. Then also you got to keep in mind that with the championship, with those belts, it's 2 belts in one. So they basically can go to any show that they want to. So either way, Damage Control is not going to just stay on Raw. They've got to defend their belts on Raw and on SmackDown. So unlike the men's tag team belts that have now been separated. So now you have the Raw tag team champions and you have the SmackDown tag team champions. So let's see how that happens. And maybe they'll make a match where a ladder match or whatever where they separate the titles. Who knows? I don't know. That may be down the line, since Triple H is giving out belts these days because he's making a belt for everybody. All right. So moving on from that. So KO was the last pick of the first round on Raw, and he stays on SmackDown, which is great because he's got this bloodline feud going again. He had a big feud with them back when it was just him against the tribal chief Roman Reigns, and then they all interrupted in the match or whatever. And I guess that's when they really started to show bloodline feuding because it really was. See, this is what I don't like about some of these fans out here. They don't realize that Roman Reigns was doing this by himself. He was winning matches. It wasn't until KO that the bloodline really started to interfere in the matches. So that's when it really began with KO. So I guess my man Solo is taking it back to the time where it started with KO and they got their feuds going. All right. Now, round 2. Very interesting. CM Punk stays on Raw, which is great. Because if you notice in the last round, Seth Rollins was picked for Raw. So that can lead up to something, but also, well, I'm gonna get into that in a minute because I'm not gonna skip all the way down and then come back. So we're just gonna keep it moving. CM Punk, Raw, the Pride, which you know who the Pride is. Bobby Lashley and the crew are gonna stay on SmackDown. Braun Strowman is back and he's on Raw. Tiffany Stratton stays on SmackDown, which is great because she started something up with Bayley already. And in fact, she's going to be in the triple threat match this Saturday. So let's see what happened with that. Highlight of the night, Jey Uso. Um, he was in the ring with Logan Paul and the Judgment Day, and they all tried to jump him, and Braun Strowman came to his aid. Braun Strowman looks great, and he's back, and he made it official. All right, let's get to round 3. This is what I was talking about. Rey Mysterio at LWO get drafted to Raw. They're back on Raw. But here's the thing, with all the controversy and all the stuff that happened with my man, Carlito, he was drafted with them. So let's see where this goes. Because he's running from them the last time I saw on SmackDown. So now they all drafted together on Raw. So you can't even escape, Carlito. You done attack Ray and attacked Dragon Lee. Where you going? You over there with Raw, on Raw with them. So let's see how that goes. Legado del Fantasma. Fantasma stays on SmackDown, which separates them, and this feud needed to stop. This back and forth. Can't we all just get along, my Latino brothers? Drew McIntyre. He is remaining on Raw, which is what I was going to say about CM Punk. They got a feud going, so CM Punk got his hands full. And he wants to go for the title, Seth Rollins, or he can just feud it out with Drew McIntyre, who is gunning for him. I'm going to talk about that this weekend on Sunday when we cover the show of what happened this week on Raw. Very interesting things happen. And then Shinsuke Nakamura, he's on SmackDown again. I believe that's great. He did some great things on SmackDown. I liked it. But the problem with that on SmackDown was, there he had his guitarist, Boogs, Miss Boogs, the guitar. And my man was on there, on commentary. It was a great show. But let's see what they do with Nakamura on SmackDown this time around. Round 4, Judgment Day stays on Raw. Figured that. Naomi stays on SmackDown. She stays with her girls. Now here's the one. We knew he was coming. Right after he lost the belt to Trick Williams, we knew Ilya Dragunov was going to a brand. We didn't know it was going to be Raw, but he's on the main brand. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I love it. You know why? Because one of the biggest matches we talked about when my brothers was here was Ilya Dragunov versus Gunther. They had some vicious fights over there in NXT and in other promotions. Here's my thing. And you heard me say it many times that AEW is a wrestling show. Well, these two are going to change my thoughts. They're going to change my mind. They're going to change everything that I say because Ilya Dragunov and Gunther are wrestlers. They're brawlers. They are bad. Now, I've seen some posts coming up since he's been drafted over here to Raw, and I'm thinking, you know what? They want him to join Imperium. They want him to replace Da Vinci. So if he replaces Da Vinci, you know how bad Imperium will be. Oh, they will be undefeatable. And there ain't no doubt in my mind that after a few weeks, I've been doubted before, and I want to say, that awesome truth. Yeah, I got doubted, but I ain't no doubt in my mind that y'all get your behind whipped by these two. Ilya Dragunov. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It don't matter who you team up with on Imperium. Y'all gonna lose those belts. No doubt. Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, really not excited. Don't care. SmackDown got them now. They're their problems because Chelsea Green always complain about something. Anywho, round 5. Let's move on. New Day stays on Raw. Pretty Deadly stays on SmackDown. Lyra Valkyria drafted to Raw. I thought she would at least got her belt back, but no, she's over there on Raw, which is great. Great pick. I ain't mad at that one. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell go to SmackDown, which is great. They need to get off of Raw because they're not gelling with everybody else right now, and they're bad girls, so they need to be over there. Let's go to round 6, the finale. The Final Testament are on Raw. Now, let me keep going down the line, then I'm gonna come back to that. DIY on SmackDown. Oh yeah. That's going to be interesting. Since they were in the midst of breaking up, in a sense, they were separating because they couldn't get things together. So that's a good one. They get to go over to SmackDown and start all over again. Hopefully they get it together and they can gel. Big Bronson Reed stays on Raw. And Blair Davenport. This one I didn't see coming. I didn't think Blair would be good enough, but obviously SmackDown saw her ass, so they got her. Blair Davenport comes out of NXT to SmackDown. Now, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to just break this down. Okay, so look at all of who Raw chose. Okay, Gunther. All right, CM Punk, we know, is a tough dude, but Braun Strowman, big man. Okay. You got a faction of LWO. But Drew McIntyre, big man. Judgment Day, Damian Priest, big man. Ilya Dragunov, tough as nails. Okay. Final Testament. All them dudes is big. And then you got Big Bronson Reed. All right. Then you put them together with the other members that they drafted. Braun Breaker. Big dude. Okay. We already know about Jey Uso, but then you got Sheamus. Big dude. Okay. You got a lot of heavyweights. A lot of heavyweights over on Raw. It's like they said, okay, just take all the big guys and draft them to our show. That's what they did. All the big guys, they drafted to Raw. If there was a war that broke out between Raw and SmackDown, Raw would kill them. Ain't no way. Ain't no way they're going to beat them. Look at how much weight is on the Raw team versus SmackDown. Even with LWO, little guys that's there, they still got the weight advantage. Speed. They got all the utensils of a great tag team with everybody they got on Raw. Not to knock SmackDown's picks, but Raw, they got y'all in this one. They picked all the big dudes. But anyway, let's get to the highlight. The 6-man tag, Jey Uso, Andrade, Ricochet versus the Judgment Day. And Jey Uso won thanks to JD. Now, let's go back to what happened. I said I would get into it. So, like I said, Patrick Mahomes was there as a special guest with Logan Paul. And Logan Paul went in the ring to knock out Jey Uso. They were trying to jump on him, like I said, trying to weaken him up before his heavyweight championship match against Damian Priest this weekend, as usual. Well, it didn't go so well. Patrick Mahomes lent Logan Paul his championship rings, 3 of them. Big, huge rings. These rings are bigger than MJF's ring. Anyway, went in the ring. Jey Uso moves out of the way. Poor JD McDonough caught it. Right in the noggin. He was swollen. all red. I'm surprised he was even in the six-man tag at the end of the night. He's stupid for that. Should have did what Dum Dum did. Dum Dum ain't that Dum Dum. He broke his arm, supposedly, or allegedly, and he got Santos Escobar. I was JD, I would have called somebody else and said, hey, look, can you cover for me? Can you sub for me? He couldn't even hardly see. You could tell. You knew they were going to lose that match. With an injured dude. Anyway, Judgment Day is, and I guess that's why they got all the people they got over there, because actuality, let's put this out there. Let's see. If Imperium includes Ilya Dragunov, they will destroy Judgment Day. Besides them, you have now on Raw one of the biggest tag teams ever, the Final Testament, who can also destroy Judgment Day, because Judgment Day ain't got no, they only got one heavyweight, dude. Damian Priest. Everybody else is a midget or fidget. They can get destroyed. So, and even there is actually even odds against the New Testament because they got a female over there too. And can't trust Paul Ellering. So even with Mommy on that team, they still may lose. But at the end of the day, with all this miscommunication, I don't see the Judgment Day staying together for too long. And the one thing I'm gonna say about some of my Latino people, when we get of a certain status, like my man Damian Priest is a champion, we start smelling ourselves, feeling ourselves. You know, even though there's unification, especially with family, sometimes we get ahead of ourselves and our leadership. A lot of people don't like the leadership that we take on after we are in a position of power. Just something to hold on to. So when Judgment Day decide to disintegrate, you know you heard it here first from your boy, Teo. And that's all I got on this half. All right, stay tuned. After this commercial break, we're going to have my brothers on. We're going to talk about it. That's right. We're going to talk about Backlash and the predictions that's coming up this Saturday at the pay-per-view. We're going to see if we can predict what's going to happen. So stay tuned for the second half. See you in a minute. All right. And now we are on the second half of Brawl Till We Fall. Again, my name is Teo, and I'm going to introduce our guest for today, my brothers Sal Showtime and Meek Mall Law. Yes, we are here, and we are going to talk about the Backlash predictions, the predictions that we have for Backlash coming up WWE on this Saturday at 4 p.m. All right. So I'm going to kick it off with what I think is probably going to be one of the first matches. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Okay, we got Bayley versus Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi. Who y'all got? Let's go, Meek.
I'm going to I may be a little biased because I'm a big fan, but I'm still gonna stick with Bayley. I feel like she's gonna be crafty enough to figure out a way to still get the win. Plus, Tiffany has been messing with Naomi too much, and Naomi is not gonna ignore that. That's likely gonna cause some type of distraction, some type of shenanigans between number that pay attention to Bailey. That's how I feel. So I feel like Bailey's taking this one.
All right.
Yeah.
What you got,
Mhm.
Sal?
Well, listen, she just got the belt, man. She just got the belt, man. So off of that alone, forget the breakdown. She's not gonna lose right now. It's her first match, man. She ain't gonna lose.
Well, you know what? I have to agree with you on that, Sal. You're right. She just got it. She ain't even have no matches. But then if you go back to SmackDown during the during the draft, Carmelo just went after the belt. He just got there. And he went
Yeah.
after the title, so you don't know what's going to happen. I think they're trying to make it unpredictable since I made the statement that they are predictable. But anyway, let's see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna roll with
What's
you.
your prediction? What's your prediction? Oh, okay.
I'm gonna roll with you on that Bailey. I think Bailey's gonna keep it. And the reason I think also that Bailey's gonna keep it is because Tiffany Stratton. First of all, whenever there's a I'm just saying this, and this is both wrestling programs. Whenever there's a three-way program where they have three wrestlers going against each other, 9 times out of 10, the one with the belt usually keeps it. I
Yeah.
really don't see. I think these other two are just well, Tiffany is just a distraction, and she's trying to prove something, and but because of her distraction, her and Naomi is frustrated with her right now. I think that's what's going to lead to them duking it out and forget all about Bailey, and then she swoop in whoever is left and pin them. That's my prediction. I think that's the way that's going to go down.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm also
Oh,
I
go
was
ahead.
I'm also glad that they're giving Naomi putting her in good spots, with these world title challenges and stuff like that. She's getting some good spots since she came back to the WWE. So shout out to WWE for that.
True. Very true. Very true. All right. So let's move on down to um, the Kabuki Warriors versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. What you got? Let's go with Sal this time. Sal, what you got?
Oh man, I gotta go with my girls, man. Gotta go with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. You know what I mean? I just don't see. I can't. But then again, is that come on, they got shenanigans on the other side too. But I gotta go with my girls, man, for this
Okay, okay, all right. What you got, me?
I definitely like the Kabuki Warriors, of course. I've seen them do a lot of stuff before WWE, so I know the history.
one.
I know why some people definitely feel like they are like very skilled people, and they're also very experienced. But the strength and size difference, and the fact that they've kind of in a little bit of a weird rut, kind of puts me in a position where it seems like, yeah, this is going to be a layup or alley oop, but almost quite literally, like literally one of them's going to throw the other one in the air, and the other one going to catch them with the power bomb. This match almost look like a slaughter to me, actually. So yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and Jim Cargill is not. They're winning this. They're not even. I'm gonna see it as non-realistic if they even take damage.
Wow. Okay, okay. Well, I got a different opinion. I'm going with
Oh,
the Kabuki Warriors only because I believe they're gonna have some shenanigans. Like Sal said, it's gonna be Dakota Kai or Io Sky may cause them to win that match. Now, here's the sad thing about that. If they do win, chances of the Jade and Bianca getting it back is slim to none because they go over the Raw with it because they got traded over to Raw.
Right.
So unless they do a separation of the titles, which is probably what's coming, then I see them probably getting the belts over there, one SmackDown and one Raw. Other than that, I don't know. They might take it over to Raw. Um, now, because actually you got to look at it. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill's backup was Naomi, but Naomi is already in a match. So who they got backing them up in case Dakota Kai or Io Sky do interfere in the match. They ain't got no backup. Now, even though these are two of the strongest women, I should say, in the WWE, you can't avoid the shenanigans of people outside of the ring doing stuff, especially when you got two people outside of the ring. One, I can understand. All it takes is Jade to knock her out. But two, I don't know. That might be a little bit too much for them to handle. Um,
Mm,
so I'm gonna go with the Kabuki Warriors keeping them belts.
Good
mm.
points. Good points. Good points.
All right, now let's go down to Kevin Owens and Randy Orton versus the Bloodline, Solo and Tama Tonga. Uh, do y'all think that Fatu is going to make his debut?
Mm, I don't know. I don't know. Well, you going with me? Who you going with on that one?
I've seen some rumors and reports that he was supposed to show up, or maybe last Raw or Raw before that. So I'm partially saying like, oh, if they push it back, maybe they're trying to do something special, and maybe that's it. Maybe it's going to be him popping up, and because I don't feel like they want a weak bloodline, but I also don't think as good as Tamatonga is, as good as Solo is, I don't think they're going to beat them fair and square. So I feel like, yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with you about Fatu making his debut there because the card doesn't fully match up. It looked like it could be a fun match though. But yeah, I think I'm thinking the bloodline can't look weak this early into it being reforming. So bloodline wins.
So you think the Bloodline going to win it? What you got, Sal?
Nah, man, I'm going with Kevin Owens and Randy. I feel like there's some redemption that need to be done when it comes to the whole bloodline. With Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. I think what's going to happen is there might be a debut, but after the win, you know, after Kevin Owens and Randy Orton get that win, they might get beat up after. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Randy and Owens.
All right. And this one, I hate making a prediction on this one because I don't know which
Mm,
direction it's going to go in. Now, I'm rooting for Randy and KO. I am. But no, Tamatonga and Solo, those some serious brothers right there, you know.
mm,
So I'm gonna have to rock with the bloodline. Um,
mm,
and it wouldn't be far fetched if Fatu did make his debut because I don't know, maybe one of them are trying to be the tribal chief, and that's exactly what Roman would do. So
mm,
roll with the
mm.
bloodline on that one. All right, let's get to these championship matches. All right, who y'all got? Judgment Day, Damian Priest versus Jay Uso. Who y'all got? Let's start with me.
I, I almost
Yeet.
feel like,
Nah.
especially if Jay, I feel like Jay was losing this one too. But I almost feel like there's going to be a bloodline distraction this time as well. It's not going to be Jimmy, of course, but I'm really wondering if it's going to be that's going to be the actual Jacob Fatu moment coming up there and blocking his win because it does feel slightly too early for Damien to lose the title that fast, especially since it is one of the main key pieces with the bloodline. The bloodline's dissolved in front of our eyes almost. So I feel like that one piece of glue, I don't think can leave that yet. So I'm kind of leaning towards Damian Priest getting the win, even if it's just through cheating.
Go ahead, Sal.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a tough one right here. Oh man, this is a real tough one right here because I'm Team J, man. Yeet, you know what I mean? Yeet. But man, listen, I wanna say this is time main event, Jay, but I don't know, man. Damian Priest, man. Hey, listen, ever since he got that title, bro, like it's like a new type of aura around him now, So this one is hard to decide, man. But you know what? If I have to, man, I'm gonna go with Yeet, man. Yeet, man. Jey Uso. Yeah.
Now, here's the
So,
thing,
so,
Sal.
so I'm gonna ask you, Yeet or no Yeet?
Okay, so here's my thing. Here's what I think about this whole situation. A part of me, and this thing, also, I've been screaming this in my other shows that there's no way, just like we said about Bailey, that Damian Priest is going to lose his belt that fast.
Mm-hmm.
However, here's the problem. Okay, I don't know if y'all noticed when y'all saw the draft of how stacked the Raw roster is with big dudes and factions. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I think that the Judgment Day is about to implode. And with that being said, it would be for the writers to make it so that Damian Priest loses his belt to Jey Uso caused by the Judgment Day. Because if you notice, when they were backstage on Raw, he said, I don't need your help with Jey Uso. Do not come out there. You do know that the Judgment Day is hard headed. So, all it takes is for JD McDonough or Dom Dom or any of them. And actually, I think Finn Balor, because I think Finn Balor is jealous of Damian Priest and his rise to heavyweight championship. He's shown that in previous moments. In fact, remember it took him a minute to get there because of my man Finn Balor. So, end of the day, he may cause him to lose it, and that may cause an implosion of Judgment Day. Because if Damian lose that belt, because one of them coming out there and causes some type of shenanigans, like what we saw on Raw, where JD got punched in the face, it's gonna be a wrap. So, and I see the clumsiness. It's like the Three Stooges right now over in Judgment Day. So I see them coming out there causing some type of problem, and Damian lose that belt. That's just my prediction. So I'm gonna go with you. Yeet.
What do you think about that, Meek? What do you think about that? Yeah, what do you think about that, Meek?
But I'm still going no Yeet for right now. I'm a big fan of Jey.
He's sticking with the no yeet.
Side.
Okay.
I'm on the bloodline side too much today.
All right. Okay. All right. The final match, which I don't think is going to be the final match. I think they're going to add some things on SmackDown, but we ain't get there yet. So I'm rolling. All right. Let's go with Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. Who you got there, Sal? Let's start with you.
You know what, man? I'm a huge AJ Styles fan. I'm glad actually since his return how they've been using him, and he's in a good spot right now. Very good spot, man. Listen, to me, AJ Styles, I think about TNA. That's the AJ Styles I know, I love. I mean, Cody Rhodes, that's my guy. You know what I mean? That's my guy. I was rooting for him WrestleMania, man. So this is another tough one right here. But man, you know what, bro? We gotta go Cody, man. Gotta go with the American Nightmare for this one.
All right, Meek, what you got?
Yeah, I definitely like the build to this match, definitely, because it feels old school. It's just like, hey, dude, I really like your work. I like you a lot, but I'm going to take your title. And it's like, oh yeah, I like you too, but I have to not let you take my title. So that dynamic is very, I guess, weird for nowadays, but it was a normal thing a while back. I like it. I like that they're trying different things, new things, and bringing old things back. Even the way Cody be holding this title. Some people thought that he was like copying Ric Flair, but that's just how I think he respectfully held the title. So after the win at WrestleMania for Cody, I kind of have him holding that title for 6 months to maybe the whole year. So
Okay.
I'm kind of definitely saying whoa to this one, and so he's gonna win it. He's gonna win it. He's gonna win it. It's gonna be a really cool match because it's AJ Styles. AJ Styles always do good matches. He's gonna get close a couple of times, but he's gonna be very frustrated walking out that ring with no belt. Yep.
All right. So y'all both. All right. Oh. All right. So just like Sal, I am a AJ Styles fan. In fact, I remember in TNA where Ric Flair basically passed the baton to him and said that he is as great as he is.
Yeah.
So keeping that in mind, AJ Styles is a phenomenal wrestler. Ain't no doubt about that. But he's not going to win the belt. All right. So I'm going to roll with Cody on that. And I'm going to roll with Cody because I know Cody, he just finished the story. Ain't no way he's going to lose the belt. And after what he did to Carmelo Hayes shows that all of that high flying and everything and all that Carmelo is basically a low budget AJ Styles. He has the skills, he has all of that, but he ain't ready yet. But AJ Styles, who has been there, knows what he's doing in that ring, still is not going to take that title just yet. Somewhere down the line, he'll get it, but they're not ready for AJ Styles to get that title yet. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I kind of wish they didn't put AJ. I kind of wish they didn't put him in this position right now. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's too soon in a way too. Like, come on, put LA Knight there, or something like that. Why you gonna put AJ Styles?
Yep. I would have been better off if they put
Yeah.
Knight there to lose versus AJ Styles. Yep.
Yeah,
Honestly, I'm a fan of AJ Styles too, and I've seen a lot of his TNA stuff. But I personally feel as if one of the problems with this is, if Cody loses, I don't think that anything good would come from that. And if he wins, it just continues the story. And I think even though he finished the story, this title reign defines the story as well. So if he loses right now, it makes the story mean nothing. And I don't think WWE wants to do that. I don't think Cody wants that to happen.
All right. Well, now I'm going to throw a wild card in there. What match do y'all think should happen at Backlash that they did not put up there?
Yeah, that's a good one right there. I'm trying to think. Anything come to mind? Me? Anything coming to mind?
Me.
Yeah, you do a curveball at us right there, man. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out.
You could put another title on the line, and it'd be Sami Zayn versus. I think they should have waited to have Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Okay.
Even if you added Dustin Reed in there, so that the feud continues even longer, and it'd be a triple threat.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that match should happen. It could happen later.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's one.
You
got anything else?
Yeah, I'm thinking of Gunther right now. My boy Gunther. I'm like, yeah, who's gonna? I'm trying to match him up with somebody, but he should have been on the card, man. Gunther should have been on that card.
True. Now,
yeah, but what you thinking?
I'm thinking that it should have been Bobby Lashley match. Maybe Bobby Lashley versus Gunther may have been a good match that they could have put on there. There's a few matches but there's a lot of rivalries going on. So now that Carlito has been outed, they should have had a Carlito versus Rey Mysterio match or Carlito versus Dragon Lee match.
Ooh, you're right.
Yeah, that would have been good. That would have been good.
Because
What
right
about
now,
your boy Sheamus? You know, your boy Sheamus is back. They should have put him in the, in the match or something.
Hamburglar, no, no, no.
Yeah.
He needs to lose some weight. But it didn't look like CM Punk was still injured. Him versus Drew should have been a match too, or could have been a match. I don't know. So yeah, there's a
Yeah,
couple of
Yeah.
possibilities of matches that could have or should happen. And SmackDown is still one show away before the pay per view. We don't know what's gonna happen, especially now that there's all these people that's been drafted over there, like Shinsuke Nakamura. We don't know who he's gonna be facing or what's gonna happen with that. And then I didn't really expect the trade with Braun Strowman. I mean Braun Breaker over to Raw. I didn't expect that at all. So
Yeah. That was
who's
a
gonna,
surprise.
yeah, who's the competition right now? You know what I'm saying? But you know what'll be a good match that's coming, even though he's fresh face of SmackDown, and that is my man. So if you put that would be a great test for him. I just thought about that. Shinsuke Nakamura versus the one they call him. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Carmelo. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would be a
That's,
great match to get him started, at least, get his character going. Because Shinsuke is going to bring it. So with them fighting against each other, that would be a great, rivalry that can lead up to something that can actually push his career while he's in SmackDown. Because really, how many people are left on SmackDown to really give it a great show like that? They got rid of all their great powerhouses over there.
are we saying SmackDown needs some help right now? Raw's the A show right now. Is Raw the A show?
And I understand it's political because they're going to be leaving Fox Five, I mean Fox Network soon, so they're not going to be on there. So I don't think they were even fighting for anybody. It was just doing a show.
Yeah.
So with the Fox Network not being in the game like that no more, they gave all their big dogs over to Raw.
yeah, and they have to make it all nice for Netflix.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're planning for the future, but what about the present?
Yeah,
So expect the ratings to go down, and this time for the other promotion to go up, their ratings hopefully. But anyway, this is all I got for Backlash predictions. But y'all sleep on that. Let me know what you come up with. Send it, put it in the chat, whatever, and let me know what you think. If something may come to mind after the show go off. But we're gonna wrap this up. This has been another episode of Brawl to We Fall. This is the Let's Talk About It session. We'll catch y'all next time, next pay-per-view. Hopefully, the same brothers that are here will be the same brothers there. Thank y'all both for joining. Hey, Meek, did you want to put in a promotion for your wrestling world? You got the floor if you want to.
Oh well, yeah. I currently have a show on Clubhouse right now. It's we usually do shows on Saturdays around 5 o'clock. We're working on, I guess it's coming soon to you, a YouTube channel. So if you just want to talk about wrestling and chill and everything, talk about whatever happened throughout the week, the news that shocked you, something that happened 10 years ago in wrestling, we tend to be there to help to talk with you about it for at least about an hour or two. So yeah, come join and have some fun. If you have a statement, if you have a joke, we here. Over there.
Okay, that's what boy Meek. That's what's up. And definitely we're gonna be over there, wrestling world. I don't know if I'll be there this weekend, but I'll try to be there next weekend if I'm not going to Delaware. But whenever I'll get back over there because I like hanging out at your show. Your show is funny and it's great, man. It's the stuff that y'all talk about is way beyond. I don't have the time over here, boy. The editing. So it's great to hang out over there at the clubhouse. All right, Sal, you got anything to say? Any shout outs or anything?
Hey, listen, man. Shout out to Brawl Till We Fall, man, and of course we coming to YouTube too. I'm the co-host on Wrestling World Podcast, and we plan on coming to YouTube as well. So, I appreciate my brother for having us come on and talk about wrestling on the YouTube platform. So, coming to y'all soon.
That's what's up. Thank y'all again for joining us. And pretty soon we'll be on a whole lot of new platforms. We're trying to spread out so you guys can get as much exposure as possible. Trying to promote y'all as well as myself. All right,
Yeah.
love it.
Back wrestling
Black
fans gotta
power.
stick together.
Yes, wrestling power, black power. All right, I'll catch you on the other side later.
Yeah.